Learning Podcast. Today's episode comes from a video game news website, IGN.com. This is from December 7th, 2022. Like every episode, you can find the link to what I am reading in the info section on the YouTube channel for each video. Each video has a mais informação or something like that, and you can click on it and it will give you some more information, some vocab, and at the bottom, no fundo, embaixo, you will always find a link to what I am reading. And we never read the whole link, we never read the whole article, just pieces of it. Okay, let's get started. The headline: Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. And again, scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. And again, maybe two more times. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard in the ocean floor. And one more time, as natural as possible. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. All right, let's read a short bit. But before that, there is an expression in the headline. I choose the headlines because of the English, not the topic or themes. So that's why we have this headline. The phrasal verb is to stumble upon something. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard. So what does it mean when someone stumbles upon something? You're walking in the street and you stumble upon $500 on the ground. What could that mean? All right, let's read from the article. We will not read all of it. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. To be filed under Dry Land is Awesome. Again, this is from December 7th, 2022. Today is the 2nd of March, 2023. This is by Anthony Wood. This is the person who wrote the story. A team of scientists has discovered an ancient shark graveyard teeming with teeth hidden over 5,000 meters below the surface of the Indian Ocean. Some of the teeth are thought to be millions of years old and may have belonged to the direct ancestor of the megalodon shark. As reported by IFLS, marine scientists made the find while conducting a biodiversity survey around the Cocos Islands in a remote part of the Indian Ocean. During the voyage, the crew dropped a weight net from the side of the research ship Investigator, is the name of the ship, to dredge material from the ocean floor some 5,400 meters below, according to a post on the Australian Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization's website. Woof, that's a long name. The Australian Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. Despite only sampling a small area of the seabed, or the ocean floor, the crew were surprised to discover a haul of over 750 shark teeth, some of which are many millions of years old. Sharks have been a fixture in Earth's oceans for the past 450 million years. However, unlike the dinosaurs that they existed alongside, very little of their remains have survived the passage of time. This is because their skeletons are made from cartilage rather than bone, a substance that rarely survives long enough to become fossilized. Two more paragraphs, guys, almost done. As a result of this, shark skeletons are incredibly rare. Conversely, shark's teeth, should just say shark teeth, which are made from a combination of dentine and an enamel like tissue, are extremely durable and are known to be capable of surviving for hundreds of millions of years. Last paragraph. According to the scientists behind the grisly new discovery, the teeth found in the aquatic graveyard belonged to a range of different shark species and were deposited over the course of millions of years. All right, that is it. I imagine that was a bit difficult. Listen to it again if you need to. But coming up in the next segment, you have a review, a breakdown of the English in the link in the content that I was reading, where we'll go through vocabulary, we will go through some grammar, maybe not so much grammar, but vocab, and we'll talk about things that might have been, que pode ser, pode ter ido mais difícil que as outras partes, né? Às vezes tem palavras específicas ou uma conteúdo específico ou uma indústria. Às vezes tem verbos que estão bem normal, mas são tão diferentes que o português que ainda estão difíceis. So in the next segment, stick around, stay here. We will break down the English and help make sense of some of the most difficult parts. And finally, at the end, we will do questions and conversation about the topic of sharks and, well, graveyards, cemeteries. All right, we're back. The headline: Scientists have stumbled upon ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. We read a few paragraphs from the article on IGN.com by Anthony Wood. You can find the link in the info section for the video that you are listening to now. Again, you can find the link in the info section, the mais informação. For any of my videos, you can find the link there. Let's review the English, starting with the headline: to stumble upon something. To stumble upon a shark graveyard, or to stumble upon money on the ground, on the street when you're walking. To stumble upon a nice new cafe in your neighborhood is to find or see or notice or observe something by chance, aleatorio, randomly, without intention, sem pretensão. I think, and I looked this one I had to look up, but Google gave me tropeçar em algo. Tropeçar em algo. I imagine that makes sense literally, but I had also wrote down para encontrar, anotar, observar algo sem pretensão, por acaso. So to find something or notice something without the intention. You're not looking for, scientists were not looking for a shark cemetary, but they found one. And so we use this phrasal verb, to stumble upon. 10 years ago, maybe still today, let's check right now actually. There's a website that's great for language learning, and it's called Stumble Upon. Whoops, not Stumble Upon, Stumble Upon. And Stumble Upon is a website. I don't know if it's social media. Oh God, advertisement. It still exists. Is there. Stumble Upon is a social media website. Oof, excuse me. I don't think you make an account or anything like that, but it's a social media website with many different categories or themes or topics, and you click a button. The button says stumble. When you click the button, the website gives you a random or un link, un site, un conteúdo aleatório. They give you random, miscellaneous, unpredictable content from somewhere. Maybe a news website, maybe a game website, something. Every time you click stumble, it gives you something new. And that because of that, the website is called Stumble Upon. Because you go there, and this is, 12 years ago in high school, when you're bored in class or doing something, without pretensão. You're not looking for a specific story or type of story. You just want something to look at. Nowadays, we just scroll on Instagram or, Facebook maybe, or Reddit or something, right? But this was before social media was, before Instagram really existed. Stumble Upon was a place to scroll and look at content without having to leave the main website. So check out stumbleupon.com. I don't know if it's any good, but it appears to still exist. So coming up next, what do we got? A graveyard. I already said this one. A graveyard is a yard, a space, right? A yard, a space, front yard, backyard. A graveyard is a space for graves, for burying, enterrar pessoas que morreram, right? It's a place for dead people, cemetery. Teeming with something. The scientists discovered a graveyard teeming with teeth. Teeming. Teeming with, it's a phrasal verb that means full of. Repleto de, cheio de. Full of something. Full of shark teeth. Hidden over 5,000 meters below the surface. Escondido, hidden. Hidden. This is one of our en adjectives in English. Hidden. Hidden. Escondido. Mais que 5,000 metros embaixo superfície do Oceano Indiano. May have belonged. This is still the first paragraph. May have belonged. The teeth may have belonged to the direct ancestor of the megalodon shark. May have belonged. Let's do this in pieces, right? Belong is pertencer. Pertencer is a verb that expresses ownership, propriety, propriedade, right? Quem, if something belongs to me, it is mine. If something belongs to you, it is yours. If something belongs to him or her, it's his or hers. Let's keep going. If something belongs to them, it's theirs. If something belongs to us, it's ours. So this is about propriedade, ownership. So that is belong. May have belonged. Have belonged. May have belonged. We can look at this different ways, right? Have belonged would be present perfect, but we also have the modal may. So let's do it together. May have belonged. We use may have when we're in the moment, presently, expressing an opinion about something in the past. And I believe this would translate to the teeth would be eles podem ter pertencido a o ancestry do tiburon megalodon. Maybe it's not megalodon in Portuguese, but so podem ter pertencido. We use this structure almost the exact same way as Portuguese to express an opinion or perspective or point of view about something in the past. So you could say could have belonged. It's the same meaning. You can say might have belonged. And guess what? It's the same meaning. May, might, and could. They basically mean the same thing. If you look in a grammar book, an English class, or a Cambridge exam, yeah, okay. They're going to force you to learn distinct definitions of may, might, and could. But the reality is when we use these words, they basically fundamentally really mean the same thing. Not sem certeza. Sem certeza. We'll do episodes, more episodes in time on may, might, must, can, could, would, should. But may, might, and could, they really mean the same thing. There's not a huge difference in the meaning. There's a slight difference in the grammar between, or the use of could versus may or might, but the meaning of the words is essentially the same. It just means sem certeza. Someone is expressing an opinion about the past and they're not sure. They're not certain. Teaming with, we did. May have, belonged to, we did. A haul. A haul. Haul. I think actually it was it to haul? This is in the third paragraph. Despite only sampling a small area of the ocean floor, the seabed, the crew, the people, funcionarios, the crew were surprised to discover, para descobrir, a haul of over 750 shark teeth. A haul is a big load of stuff. Uma carga grande. But let's check this one. A haul. Lance? Oof. A haul. Transport? No. I'm gonna say lance. Cargo grande, a big load, but something, a big weight, peso grande, of 750 shark teeth, some many millions of years old. Alongside, ALONGSIDE. This is in the next paragraph. However, unlike the dinosaurs that they existed alongside, very little of their remains, os restos, sobreviveram a passagem do tempo. Very little of their remains have survived the passage of time. Alongside just means on the side, together, next to each other. Ao lado de, or junto. They existiram juntos, in the same time and maybe not the same place because their dinosaurs were on the land. Down towards the bottom, I believe this is, no, we have two more. According to the scientists behind the grisly new discovery, the teeth belong to a range of different sharks. So grizzly and range. Grizzly, in the article they say Grizzly. I think that's incorrect, or erro pretencioso. I believe the correct spelling is Grisly, but the meaning is the same. Terrível, chocante, assustador, like woof, wow, this is a shocking, scary amount. What was this place? Maybe a graveyard for sharks. God, I'm getting chewed by fucking mosquitoes. Continuing, a range of different shark species. Variedade. RANGE. We use this for a variety of different shark species. A range of different shark species. When you invest money, they recommend you invest in a range of different places. That's it. We don't have any more English to look at. I went through all of the paragraphs I read. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can find the link to the reading in the info section on the YouTube page for each video, right? Every video I'm reading something, a piece of something, and then breaking down the English. So you can always find the link in the info section. Coming up next, questions and conversation, some about sharks, but just general questions and conversation about the topic and some of the vocab. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor, on the seabed. Scientists have stumbled upon an ancient shark graveyard on the ocean floor. Have you ever stumbled upon cash on the ground? What did you do? If not, what would you do? Would the amount of money make a difference in how you might react? Let's try this in Portuguese. Você já, alguma vez, tropeçou no dinheiro vivo no chão quando está andando? Ou observou, anotou o que você fez? E se não, o que você faria? Ou quantidade do dinheiro faria uma diferença em como você reacionasse ou em como você talvez ou pode reacionar? Would the amount of money make a difference? So you're walking on the street, you see 10 reais on the floor. I imagine you pick it up. Maybe not, but what would you do? Maybe you're walking on the street and you see 500 reais on the floor. What do you think? What would you do? O que você faria? O ia do faria, né? A conjugação do fazer até faria. Em inglês temos a palavra would, W-O-U-L-D. What would you do? If you saw, let's do a lot bigger, 10.000 reais no chão, what would you do? What would you think? What considerations would you make? Would you pick it up? Yes. Why? No. Why? After you pick it up, would you take it home? Would you take it to the police? No one in Brazil has said they would take the money to the police. That's not in the U.S. too. We're not giving money like that to the police. And I say this, my brother is a police officer, but no, I'm not going to be giving him cash or any of the police officers in that. If I'm finding money on the ground, no. Number 2, have you ever been or walked through a graveyard, a cemetery? How did you feel while there? Se você já alguma vez passou por ou andou por cemitério, como você sentiu enquanto você estava andando por lá? I've walked through graveyards many times in Sao Paulo. In my neighborhood, there's just 2 or 3 huge cemeteries in my neighborhood. I walk through them very frequently. Not anymore, but for the first maybe 2 years, I walked through them a lot. The first time was a little bit, didn't feel so comfortable. Not because of zombies or vampires, but because of just crime. People who are alive and might do bad things. But no, I like walking through a graveyard now. I like looking at the dates, the born and death date, just to see, what time period are these people from? How far back? I like to try and find, this is weird, but I like to try and find when I'm walking through a cemetery, a graveyard, I like to try and find the oldest person, right? The person who was born, mais longe de agora in history. Because I love history. That's part of my personality. Number 3, if someone offered you a trip in a deep submarine, would you accept and go? Why or why not? If someone offered you a trip in a deep submarine, would you accept and go? Why or why not? Se alguém oferecesse, there we go. Se alguém oferecesse uma viagem num submarino bem profundamente no mar, você aceitaria ir ou não? Por que sim ou por que não? Would I go? Oof, no, I do not. That would be like facing my biggest fear. Not the small space, but the deep, dark ocean. No, I would not go. Would you? Number 4, if you saw a shark swimming, next to you in the ocean, what would you do first? If you saw a shark swimming in the ocean next to you, what would you do first? I was looking for the conditional for to see, visse. Se você visse tiburão andando, o que você faria? Se você visse tiburão andando ao lado de você no bairro, o que você faria primeiro? Okay. Now the actual question. Se você visse tiburão nadando pertinho de você no mar, o que você faria primeiramente? The first thing you would do, what is it? Would you panic? Would you go to the surface, até a superfície? Would you go to the shore? Would you try and touch it? Would you congelar? Would you freeze? Would you shit your pants? What would you do? Business marketing, the strange business marketing question on a shark graveyard reading. Why do you think IGN.com, this is the website I was reading from, why do you think IGN.com, a traditional gaming website, has a news story about sharks and science on its platform? Por que você acha que IGN.com, site do videogames, tem história das notícias sobre tiburões e ciência na sua plataforma? Why do you think? I didn't come to the website to find this story. I was hoping to find headlines or titles or stories about video games with interesting English. I found this. So why do you think that is? Why would a video game website have stories like this on their platform? What's the purpose there? What's the business calculus for having this not on a news website, or at least a traditional news website, a video game news website? What's the connection? We read most of the story. There's nothing about video games in the story. So what do you think? How does this make sense? That is it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, or if you did, leave a comment, inscrever, subscribe, leave a like, a dislike. I think for the algorithm, they're both important. So it's important that you leave something. Also that you learn something. But for me, it's also important that you leave something. But if you don't, that's okay. I'll just think you are a hater. No, that's okay. But yeah, subscribe, inscrever, leave a comment, follow some more episodes. Thanks for listening.